This is the first video of a series of 3 videos about service learning. The purpose of this video is to inform viewers about the characteristic features of service learning. The resources that appear on your screen were used to produce this video. In the MYP, service as action is the component of the core that empowers students to demonstrate the attributes of the IB learner profile. Because it's part of the core, service as action is a non-negotiable requirement for all subjects. As such, MYP educators have to develop a written curriculum that allows students to use what they've learned in class in meaningful action. A connection or reflection about service that may help us understand the relationship between our written and taught curricula and the IB mission statement is Paulo Freire's concept of idea strength. This concept suggests that education should empower students to use the knowledge and skills they acquire, develop, and master at school to improve their surroundings. In a nutshell, service learning encourages students to learn by doing and to develop interest in becoming responsible citizens and agents of change. In a moment, you will read 10 educational and social reasons to promote and practice service learning. As an MYP educator, when you plan intentional service opportunities in your curriculum, you must consider the service as action learning outcomes that students need to fulfill. Therefore, the design of your service as action engagements must help students to undertake challenges, to develop skills, to persevere, to take initiative, to create awareness, to collaborate, to act ethically, and eventually to participate in global engagements. There are a few steps you may want to take and reflect upon as you begin to embed purposeful and meaningful service in your curriculum. First, explore your written curriculum documents to identify real-life situations in which students can put into practice the conceptual understandings you are helping them develop. Then, think of skills that students need to be successful. Once you have identified a relevant real-life situation to apply your teachings, reflect on the skills students will need in order to be successful. You must also consider the tools that will help you and your students create the context to apply conceptual understandings and skills. And most importantly, you have to ensure students target concrete learning outcomes. As you plan to embed service into your written curriculum, you have to create a system to record how you're integrating service as action. On your screen, you should be able to see the structure of a template we will use to indicate what service is happening in our units in different grade levels. You should also be able to read 2 examples that show how service was embedded into different subjects. After seeing how you can begin to identify service opportunities and seeing 2 examples of how service was carried out in 2 subjects, you may wonder how you can make it happen. These are 2 suggestions. If the conceptual understandings you will be teaching towards naturally and purposefully lead to service in that community, you can design a service-led unit. You can read about an example in the information section in this video. You can also initiate service after a unit of work. If you decide to do this, part of the reflections you and your students will have at the end of the unit should include moments in which you all think about how you can take action in your community using the skills and understandings you explored in the unit. In the next video, we will look at the stages of service learning.